Hi my little shardies, welcome and welcome back. Today I'm going to be working on a part of an image out of Worlds Within Worlds. I've already done some of this image, a lot of this image, and today I want to show you how I did this part of the asteroid here. So I left this open here so I could do the same thing I did here up here. And I did the trees in another video and the galaxy background in another video. So if they're not up yet, they will be up shortly. But today we're going to work on this here and do it here. So the colors I've been using, and I've been kind of bouncing between some of these. I'm using PC 935 black, PC 1065 70% gray, cool gray, sorry. PC 1063 50% cool gray, PC 1061 30% cool gray, PC 1060 20% cool gray, and my colorless blender, which is PC 1077. Alright, the first thing I'm going to do is take my PC 935 and really lightly in the, you'll see a few craters here. In those areas, it's going to be really dark. So I'm just putting a real light layer down. I'm barely touching the paper. So just color that just a little tiny bit. And I'm going to do the same thing over here. Again, I'm not pressing hard at all. I'm just doing a little tiny bit. And over here, I'm actually doing it a little bit more because that's like way darker than the other ones. And I'm not going to worry about that one right now. I'm just focusing on these two for the moment. Like a little bit of a second coat there. Now I'm going to take my cool gray 70% 1065 and I'm going to, where the little lines are here, I'm just going to kind of come out from those. So I don't want to go up too high on this one. I want it to be light right at the edge here. Let me zoom in. And I'm going to go into this gray that, or this black that I did. I'm going to go right over top of it with this dark gray. I'll pull this dark gray around a little bit here, but again, this area I want to be really light, so I'm going to leave that like that. On this outside here, where you have these like little lines, this line here, I'm just going to kind of darken that up just a little bit. And then right here next to the crater, there's like a lot of little lines there. That tells me that he was thinking that might need a little bit of shading there. So I'm going to throw that dark gray in there as well. And I'm probably going to come up here. Not probably, I am. And I might even add a little black to that too to darken that up a little bit further. Same with this, because this looks like it should be pretty dark. So anywhere there's a lot of lines tells me they want it shaded pretty good. So I'm putting this darkest gray that I have in that area, and then I'll probably go back into that area with the black too and separate that just a little bit more. Darken up like one side of it where I think the darkest area that should be. I'm gonna come over here. And I do believe this crater would be pretty dark. On this one, I'm going to leave that little part open there, and I'll do a lighter color in that. And then there's just a few lines here, so I'm just going to, a little bit, just do a couple strokes. Alright, so now I'm going to come back in again with my 935 black, and right at the edges on this I'm going to throw some in because that looked like it was supposed to be really dark there. Going to come back through on this crater, darken it up a little bit. So the closer I am to this is where I'm going to put the darkest color right now. I think that would be really shaded there, so I'd throw that there. It's kind of hidden behind that rock, so I think that would have a little shading. I really think like this crevice here, crater wood, so there's some there. I'll come into this one. This one was really dark in this spot here. Probably should have been straight black. Put a little there. Again, once you guys do one, you'll know how to do it all. You just kind of follow it through the entire picture. Alright, so now I'm going to come through with my 20% cool gray, which is PC 1060, and on my lightest area here I'm going to throw that in. It will kind of, if you blend up with it from the darker area into the light, it'll bring just a little bit of that pigment up. So that's what I'm doing there. And I'm just going to the very lightest areas. Now this color is also what I'm going to use like in here, that really light area there, and I'm just going to follow that around. That's like my base color for this entire thing. You can see it here. All of that is this light color here, and I'm just going to go through and lightly add that in those areas. I'm not going to do this entire image. Just want to give you guys an idea on how to do it if you choose that you like the way this asteroid looks. The best part is if you just choose similar colors, I mean, well, not even similar colors, just, you know, dark, medium, light, maybe 4 or 5 colors, and you can make the color whatever you want as long as you make sure you're keeping in mind where you're putting shadows and stuff like that. So could have some pretty cool colored rocks here, but I'm kind of basic and not quite sure how to color without trying to be at least somewhat realistic. See all these people with really cool things and I'm like, oh my gosh, that looks so awesome. I would have never thought to do it like that, and even if I did, I would like, I can't. I just can't bring myself to. Alright, now I'm going to go through with my 30% cool gray, which is 1061. And this one's just a little bit darker than your base color there, so I'm just going to go into some of these areas and just darken it up a little bit. And if you want to wait on this and pull this color in when you're done doing the rest of it, you definitely can. I did that a lot up in this area here. This was like the last color I wound up using. So let's show you how to do that. So this is my 50% cool gray PC 1063. And I'm just going to come right up against this darker 70%. And anywhere I think that It needs just a little bit more darkness, but not as dark as my darkest one. Just adding a little tiny bit around there to darken it up just a little bit so it doesn't look half done. Like, see, there's some lines there, but they weren't as close together as some of these other ones. So I think this is supposed to be pretty dark, but not as dark. So I'm just adding a little character. That's what I'm calling it, shading. See, that looks like it would be 70% there, but just pull that out. I'm going to go back in with my 70% cool gray, which is 1065. And I'm just going to fill in some of these areas I missed the first time. Kind of like that. Now I noticed in this spot here, it looked a lot like these did. So I took my blender pencil, which is the PC 1077, and if you don't think it's blended enough, you can just go over it with your blender pencil and that'll make it more of a gradient instead of a super sharp transition. So it's up to you, whichever one you like, whether you like the sharp gradient or you want more of a gradual transition. I'm going to take my black again. I'm just going to bring that give a little more shadows in some places. A little more areas I think should be a little darker and stand out a little bit more than the areas around it. We're just adding a little bit of black too to help the contrast there. This here, the spot here looks like it would be really, really, really dark. So I'm already going to throw my black in there. Spot here. Then again, you go to your next color, which is 1065, 70% cool gray, and go right up or into that black. And just repeat the process that we did here. Over the surface, make sure you use your lightest color on the base there. And then when you're done getting most of your colors out, if you need to add just a little bit more, you don't want it to be so light in those areas, you would use your 30% cool gray, which is the 1061. And like this here, I want this just a little bit darker than the base color. So that's where I would put that. Come over here just on the edge. Looks like there would be like just a little bit of a shadow there. And then I'm going to blend into this here. Just like all these very harsh lines. I don't want them that harsh there. Alright, well I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done, so I'll be back in a few minutes. There's a general idea on how to do this asteroid here. Alright everyone, this is the finished asteroid image. So I've completed all of that, and I hope you've learned something from this tutorial. If you chose to color your rocks in a different way, please let me know in the comments below what colors you used. And make sure you post your finished image on online on our Facebook page. If you like this video, make sure you turn on your comments, click like, and hit the notifications so you're informed each and every time I post new content to my channel. As always, stay safe, stay healthy, color happy, and remember, shh, it's our little secret.